Now on CoastTV News.
Millsboro makeover, the bill approved in the General Assembly that affects the structure of the town council. Holy Week handoff, how the Pope's condition is forcing changes in the Catholic Church's Easter celebrations.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Matt Pensick. Welcome to CoastTV News Midday. Our top story this morning, changes are likely coming to the future makeup of the town council. On Thursday, the Delaware State Senate approved a bill that allows the town to authorize redistricting using the 2020 federal census by January 1st. Also, when dealing with vacancies, the council will appoint a person when there is less than 1 year remaining in the vacant term and hold a special election if there is over a year remaining. This follows approval in the House. It now goes to Governor Meyer's desk. And this will not have an effect on the town's municipal election scheduled in 2 months. So here are some key dates for that. The candidate filing deadline is May 14th. The absentee voting period is May 26th through June 13th. Election day is Saturday, June 14th. The recently finalized Maryland budget, some help for the Chesapeake Bay and communities along its shores. $400 million is headed to restore the Bay economy, and according to the Maryland Department of the Environment, this is part of the Bay's $3 billion overall economy. The department says the Chesapeake Bay will use this money for upgraded wastewater treatment plants and living shorelines, and that the money will also support work that keeps the Bay clean. It is Good Friday, and we have a great-looking late morning. Here is our live look at the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk, Sunshine Beach. Not a lot of people on the beach there, though. Our First Alert meteorologist, Bob Trahey, joins us now with a look at First Alert weather. Bob, I would think there'd be more people out there this morning.
I would think so too, Matt. It is a beautiful Friday on this Good Friday, and temperatures have risen from those cold levels we had this morning. We had 30s and 40s, but it is warming up nicely now with lots of sunshine. Georgetown and Milton at 67, 65 in Delmarva, 58 in Rehoboth, so a little cooler there. That's why maybe there's not a lot of people out there right now. Indian River Inlet and Bethany Beach both at 60 degrees at the present time. Winds coming in out of the south, and they're starting to pick up, gusting over 20 miles per hour in Salisbury, Georgetown, Indian River Inlet, and Ocean City. And those southerly breezes bringing in the warm conditions. Visible satellite pictures showing some wispy high clouds right now, but that's all we're going to see throughout the day with mostly sunny skies as high pressure is moving away. We're seeing the return flow around that high, and that's bringing in a lot of warm air out of the deep south. And we have a big warm up heading into tomorrow. And it starts today with lower 70s around the noon hour from Salisbury to Millsboro and Ellendale, but cooler for the coast with 50s and 60s there, and then low to maybe mid 70s into the afternoon, in and out of those high clouds with gusty winds. So overall looking really mild, and that continues into the evening hours as those southerly breezes pick up, gusting over 20 miles per hour at times, and a warm day, and really warm. In fact, feeling like summer on Saturday. I'll have your Easter egg hunt forecast and what we could expect for Easter Sunday itself coming up a little bit later on in the newscast.
All right, looking forward to that, Bob. And you just mentioned we are at Easter weekend, but the holiday is going to look different at the Vatican this year. Pope Francis has delegated cardinals to lead Holy Week and Easter services as he continues to recover from double pneumonia. The 88-year-old pontiff was released from the hospital in late March. The Vatican says he is gradually improving, but he can't speak for long periods and needs to have his medical team nearby. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said today that the U.S. may move on from its efforts to try to broker a peace deal in the Ukraine-Russia war if no progress is made in the coming days. Rubio is wrapping up talks with European and Ukrainian officials. With American aid already in the hundreds of billions of dollars, Rubio says supporting Ukraine cannot last indefinitely.
I think it's important to remind everybody that the Ukraine war is a terrible thing, but it's not our war. We didn't start it. The United States has been helping Ukraine over the last 3 years, and we want it to end. But it's not our war.
Both Russia and Ukraine have accused each other of violating a moratorium on strikes to each country's energy infrastructure. Happening tonight, we're expecting the arrival of a crane at BB's Rollins Lewis campus. Here is the impact it could have on drivers in that area of Savannah Road. According to BB, starting at 8 tonight, the patient drop-off and pickup circle, that'll be closed at the east entrance. The exit lane leading to Savannah Road will also be closed. All lanes will reopen approximately 4 p.m. Saturday, April 19th. Maintenance coming to Gordon's Pond Trail on Monday. According to Cape Henlopen State Park, the trail will be closed from Monday, April 21st to Thursday, April 24th. Park says this is for maintenance on the bridge. Officials say the trail is expected to reopen on Friday, April 25th. If you plan on heading to the Lewis-Georgetown Trail next week, we do have an update on that. DelDOT is announcing a closure there. The agency says this is an effort to get vegetation under control. They will use a herbicide in the area. Closure is planned for Wednesday, April 23rd, weather permitting. There is a rain date for this temporary closure, and DelDOT says work takes place from midnight to 8 a.m., and the herbicide isn't dangerous to people or wildlife. Just getting started in this edition of Coast TV News Midday. Coming up, opening weekend excitement. All the festivities you can look forward to, including some Easter events at a summer season's mainstay in Ocean City. But next, Seals Healing Hope. Get the latest about this guy here who is injured at Gordon's Pond. Coast TV News Midday returns after this. We have an update on a seal that was rescued earlier this month at Gordon's Pond. The seal is in a new place, has a new name. It's now known as Eclipse and is being cared for at the National Marine Life Center in Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts. We have a photo of Eclipse right here that they posted. This poor guy's dealing with a number of issues, including injured flippers, lice, tapeworms. Eclipse is still receiving treatment. Tripper Rides in Ocean City is getting ready for a new season. The amusement park will host a full opening this weekend. There will be an Easter egg hunt, pictures with the Easter Bunny, possibly a few new games. As part of an appearance on Coast Life, Operations Manager Jeff Stant says the opening weekend, he tells us what it means to them.
We're super excited. We hate having our doors closed.
Yeah.
So this is our absolute favorite time of year. We're all in high gear right now, getting everything back open.
Oh, I bet.
But we're ready for it.
And Tripper Rides opens this weekend at noon on Saturday and again on Sunday. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, actually it's right now, Delmar Parkside High School Softball. That is a live broadcast, and then you get a replay of that game at 8 p.m. Final score checks in at 10:30. Into the Trenches is back for its third season, and this year we follow the Cape Henlopen Vikings football team. They are fresh off their first championship appearance in 40 years, and DSN takes you to the practice field, inside the locker rooms, and on the sidelines as the team hopes to prove themselves once again to be among the top teams in Delaware Class 3A. Into the Trenches premieres Thursday, April 24th at 7:30 on DSN and DSN+.
We're seeing lots of blue skies on this Good Friday. Just some high wispy clouds on the Tunnel and Razor Cam right now. 69 in Lewis and warming into the upper 60s, close to 70. We'll be in the low 70s across many inland areas on this Good Friday. Then 80s for Saturday. A bit cooler and cloudier for Easter Sunday. Congratulations to Don Russo from Millsboro on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV. I'll have more on the Easter holiday weekend forecast coming up next. I don't think we could have scripted a better forecast heading into the Easter holiday weekend. It was a frosty start for some this morning with 30s and 40s. The temperature's skyrocketing now with the southerly breeze. Here's our Tyndall's Casual Furniture camera, 66 in Laurel. Just some high wispy clouds as those winds are picking up out of the south. And we'll be warming into the 70s as we go into the afternoon. And I'm sure a lot of kiddos will be out looking for eggs on Saturday. And boy, I tell you what, it is looking nice. 66 at 8 a.m. as they look for the plastic eggs, I'm guessing, with candy inside, maybe real ones too. By noon, mostly sunny, 76, and then by 4, 83. So they could be wearing shorts as they're looking for their Easter eggs. And then for the Easter Sunday festivities, for sunrise services on Monday, I think we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, 64. By midday, around 70. And then by the afternoon, I think we're into the mid-70s. A little cooler as we'll have some cloud cover. But it is warming up nicely now. 66 in Salisbury, Georgetown 67, 69 59 in Milton. A little cooler at the coast. Ocean City 55, 61 in Bethany Beach right now. So you'll be a little cooler as we go into the afternoon, as the winds are now picking up out of the south, bringing in that mild air. Already gusting over 20 miles per hour in Salisbury, Georgetown, Indian River Inlet, and Bethany Beach. So it'll be a warm breeze as we go into the afternoon hours. We have been seeing some wispy clouds moving through too. This is the visible satellite picture. Aside from that, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, and that ridge of high pressure that gave us the frosty mornings of cold weather is now sliding offshore. We're getting into our warmer southwesterly flow. There's even warmer air to our south and west from Texas into the Tennessee Valley with a warm front, and that'll be lifting in as we go through the day and into tomorrow. And along a cold front, it's rain across the plains, maybe flooding conditions there. For us, no rain with that front, but it does cool us off a little bit as we go into your Easter Sunday. So ahead of the front tomorrow, really warm, 80s away from the coast. Then that front comes through and it does cool us off a little bit as we go into Easter Sunday. But noon on Futurecast already has lower 70s, breezy into the mid-afternoon hours, maybe 73 in Delmar, with 50s and 60s at the coast, and very mild into this evening with 60s. In fact, I don't think we're dropping out of the 60s tomorrow morning. Lower 60s with breezy conditions, mid-70s by the noon hour, and by 4:30, look at this, 84 in Salisbury, 84 in Hillsborough, 84 in Long Neck, feeling more like summertime instead of the day before Easter, and a little cooler at the coast. And then for Easter sunrise services on Sunday, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s. I think we're dry, but it's a little cooler with a northerly wind, but I still think we get into the 70s for highs as those winds are gusty out of the south, gusting nearly 30 miles per hour today, and still breezy tonight, and really breezy into much of the weekend, but it'll be a mild breeze. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 72, mostly sunny today. The overnight lows warming up too, so you could put the plants outside. 83, partly cloudy Saturday, more clouds and sun on Easter Sunday, but we keep it dry, 72, and then mild into next week, 75, maybe some showers as we head into Tuesday.
All right, thanks, Bob. Easter weekend, it is here, and you can start your Easter Sunday with music and meaningful conversation if you celebrate with Sunrise Sermons 2025, the final sacrifice. Services begin at 7 a.m. on Coast Country, 9:30 a.m. on the Delmarva Sports Network, 10:30 a.m. on Coast TV. Coming up next, Chinese cargo charges, the time frame of new fees imposed on goods from the communist country. Coast TV News Midday, back in a moment. The U.S. is planning to impose new port fees on Chinese ships. The fees will be charged on all Chinese-built and owned ships docking in U.S. ports, with amounts based on net weight or goods carried on board. They'll begin in about 6 months and will be rolled out in phases. The U.S. government says the fees could also be raised further in coming years. For like a lot of people, you've been watching the stock market every day, or if you're like me, you might be averting your eyes. We're getting a break from all this. Wall Street for the Easter holiday. Both the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ are closed for Good Friday. After hours trading generally not available on market holidays. So far, 2025's been a good one for Netflix. The streaming service just reported its first quarter earnings, which amounted to $2.5 billion in revenue, and Netflix says it brought in close to $3 billion during the first 3 months of 2025, and those numbers exceeded what forecasters expected. Still ahead, headache for help, the new device that could offer migraine relief without the side effects of medication. Stay with us on Coast TV News Midday. An estimated 39 million people in the U.S. get migraines, according to the American Migraine Foundation. And as Mandy Gaither shows us, new technology being studied that may help migraine sufferers find relief in the future.
It's a disabling disease that can significantly impact a person's life. Some migraine sufferers may find relief in medications or lifestyle changes, but not all of them.
There's still a number of individuals that get inadequate relief.
Cleveland Clinic neurologist Dr. Mary Ann Mays is medical advisor to My Helper, a company that's designed an investigational drug-free device not currently FDA approved. She's lead author of a study researching the device that was presented last week at the American Academy of Neurology annual meeting. The technology uses dry or dehumidified room temperature air to cool the nasal passage, which Mays says helps stop the activation of the part of the brain that's turned on during a migraine. 128 adult study participants who reported having multiple migraine attacks used the self-administered device at home to treat a single attack. 44 others used a sham device.
47% of individuals in the study reported complete pain freedom at 2 hours compared to only 16% in the sham group. So that was quite clinically significant and exciting to see.
Mays says of those studied who were pain-free after 2 hours, 41% remained that way for 24 hours and didn't need additional rescue medications.
Our hope is that the study will be concluded by November 2025, that we'll have some of the data, and that the company can submit for approval of the device in 2026.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
We're seeing gorgeous weather heading into the holiday weekend on this Good Friday. Lots of sunshine on the Gutter Helmet Cam. We'll be warming into the 60s in Ocean View, even warmer inland areas. And if you like today, you're going to love tomorrow's temperatures with highs into the 80s, a bit cooler and cloudier for Easter Sunday. Call the Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone, another way to get your forecast. Sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Your mild 10-day forecast is next. The rest of our Good Friday looking sunny with just some high clouds. Beautiful if you're traveling or just staying in town for Easter. We're looking at 70s this afternoon, and with gusty southerly winds, temperatures not dropping off all that much tonight, about 59 degrees. So put those plants back outside. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 83, partly cloudy on Saturday. Easter Sunday, I think we're dry, a little cooler, 72, and then sustained mild conditions into next week. A chance of showers Tuesday with highs in the upper 60s Monday, but then we're into the 70s. Overnight lows in the 50s. So, Matt, I think spring is here to stay.
Indeed. All right. Thanks, Bob. And thank you for joining us for Coast TV News Midday. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. And don't forget to catch us later tonight on Coast TV News at 5. Until then, have a great Friday, everybody.